Oh, hello there. Welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Welcome to the lunch stream. It is the day after Halloween, so I'm sure there is much rejoicing and sickness from all the candy that was acquired and eaten last night. I was not one of those because I've been training for our half marathon for the ACS. No more candy for moi for a while. That being said, if you are new to the lunch stream, wondering what in the hell is this? This is where we hang out with you good folks for the next hour. We'll do a roster review. We'll answer questions. If you do have questions, please go ahead and put those in the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. It just helps us scoop it up. With the software we use, it just helps us pinpoint those questions, and we will get to those as quickly as possible. That being said, make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video. Very important. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you haven't checked out our Patreon, please check out our Patreon. We love our Patreons. They're amazing. We love all you guys, but Patreons really help keep us going, and we really appreciate their support. We got a great panel like always. Let's introduce all the knuckleheads and knuckleheads, whoever's here. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We've got, of course, from across the pond, trying to avoid swearing dancing daughter so that we don't get F-bombed to death. The one and only Mike Hunt.
Good afternoon. I'm going to be dashing away, unfortunately, when dancing gets here. Apparently, I've got to go and open my birthday presents and my cards.
When's your birthday? Wait, when's your birthday?
Today.
Today's your birthday?
Now. Yeah.
Oh, God, well, goddamn, Mike, you didn't say anything. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. And also happy birthday to Nukin.
Well, yeah, Nukin. I forgot about Nukin. Yeah, he's 9,327 years old. So happy birthday, Nukin, and happy birthday to you, Mike.
Thank you.
Very nice. All right. Also here from the RSG crew, we've got Grim the Mechanic.
Wasabi, and happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah, didn't know he was just doing that stuff. Also on Skype, we've got the one and only Jedi Princess herself, T Money G.
I
was
a Jedi Princess today. Happy birthday, Mike.
The best costume ever. She showed us a picture. It's so good. I can't stop giggling. I love it. How are things up there in the north, eh?
We're going well. Sad it's like the day after Christmas for me. Gotta wait another 364 for Halloween, so...
Well, you got the actual Christmas coming up, so that'll kind of help you with the blues and stuff.
Yes, indeed.
That's indeed. Right. There's the season to be jolly. Also, I see him in here. I don't know if he's there. The big deal himself, the French tickler, the chicken chaser, the brown Gandalf, the beerless one, Grande Pappy Patron. No, Grande, we told you how you have to do your intros from now on. Come on now.
Oh, that's right. I have to do it like this.
Yeah.
What's up? It's your boy, Lord Grande Verga Ponde Patron. How are you doing today?
I love it.
We've got another top 10 video coming right after this. Someone else is going to read it, and they made it up, but I'm going to take credit for it. I only have one level on my Patreon. It's the $10,000. You get 10 minutes with me roster review section. Hey, Mike, happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños, and bon anniversaire. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mike's like, what's that?
Oh, man.
What's that language?
No, I know where that was. That was Italian, wasn't it?
It's French.
It's French. It's a little bit of Latin.
It was the Latin languages, because I mean, if you're Grande Patron, you're kind of a Latin lover. You know how that works.
No, that's wrong.
Just kidding. I'm a white boy.
That is very much wrong. I was just going to throw that out there. God. Jesus. Alrighty then. So we have our roster review today, and so let's go ahead and get in there. And it's one of our VIPs, one of our very special peeps that support the channel, and that is Maz Kanata. And Maz is in Steve-O's Falcons. So there you go, Steve-O's Falcons. Shout out to your guild. Let us see here what we have. Moss says, my main concerns are territory wars and where to put future Zetas. My next two are planned for Revan and Jolie. Then what? Revan's third? Do I Zeta tunes who probably should have Zetas like Chewie or Nest? 7-star trade is about a month away. Maybe Darth Nala needs his Zeta finally. Please point any glaring holes in my roster, and for territory war, what are the weaknesses you see?
Ooh, this is right up. This is right up.
Yeah, there's more to it.
Money's alley.
Well, there's more here. It says, I know I need to be running Revan Arena, and you would all probably say the same thing to me that you said to Kaz in her review last week. I'll make the switch after the review. If it matters, I worked with someone on my mods and have a good plan to improve them in order to strengthen my entire roster. I know I have some issues with mods. That's all, I guess. Thanks. All right, we got a lot to look at here. So we got a Zeta plan. Oh, look, everybody, it's Dr. Finn Woman.
Yes, Maz Kanata is awesome. She is a great person, and she's a gold patron, so I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, that's right. So we're very glad to help, Maz Kanata. All right, so what do we want to look at first? Dr. Finn, what do you think we should look at first here? That's quite a lot that we have.
You know what I should look at? I should look at I should actually bring up her GG page, because I just got out of a meeting. So
that's right. Hey, did you see
she doesn't have Revan double Zetaed.
Yeah,
she doesn't have him double Zetaed.
Well,
so
you should delete the game.
You guys are mean. Damn.
No, I was being ironical.
She says that her next two planned Zetas are for Revan and Jolie. So.
Well, that makes sense. So Revan and Jolie, I think you figured out what you need to do for your Zetas. There you go. That takes care of that question.
I mean, she's running Gold Jedi in Arena, which would make sense that her next two would be to get the best Arena team that's Jedi.
Yeah, Nest goes in the back burner when compared to having to do that. I think the other characters you mentioned are on the side burn. Put them to the side.
There's one Zeta she mentioned that I'd probably tell her she doesn't have to have.
Which one was that?
And she mentioned Nihilus Unique.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of a. I don't even. I mean, in certain situations, that's not even nice to have now. So, I think she could just skip that one altogether.
Oh, agreed.
Okay. So that was a pretty easy first part. Zeta Revan and Zeta on Jolie.
I mean, wouldn't you put in? I don't know if you guys discussed this. So sorry if you already.
We just started. We haven't done anything.
Okay, wouldn't you already? Even though she only has one Zeta on Revan, she has the Zeta on the lead. I would probably just throw in Revan as your lead, even without the other Zetas right now. Yeah. I don't know.
I would agree.
I don't think you need to continue running Bastila lead. So you could run Revan, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, Ezra, Hermit Yoda. That is a fine team in order.
Then once you get Jolie squared away, I mean,
you can put in Jolie and then replace Ezra with like General Kenobi if you want. Like there's a bunch of options, but I think you can go ahead and start with Revan.
12 with the two extra pieces at Gear 12. So I mean, I'm kind of with you. Yeah. I think she could run it now, and then she could Zeta direct focus, and then contemplate the Zetaing hero or not.
Well, the problem I see with that is she doesn't have as unique Zeta, and that'll open her up to getting pounded on by double Zeta Revan teams, because they can stun her Revan.
Well, she's at 60th right now, so I think that she could probably
get into the top 20 pretty easy.
Yeah, she could get into the top 20, maybe even the top 10 with this team right now. I mean, if you're telling me, should I run Bastila?
Depends on her shard, really, to be honest.
Well, most shards have about 20 to 25 Revans, most. And so if she's got 20 to 25 Revans, she's not going to be the worst Revan, and the rest of her team looks great, which means she's going to be north of 25 if she can play at her payout. Regardless, and if someone told me, hey, I got a 7-star G12 Revan, and I have a 7-star G12 Bastila, who should I run as leader? The answer is a no-brainer to me. Run Revan, even if he's not even totally 100% ready. I mean, she could bring him in now. He's a better leader than Bastila. So I'm saying she sticks Revan in as leader like today or tomorrow, whenever she can get the mods where she likes them.
Yeah. Just make Revan super, super fast. And she has some decent mods and everything, so you can make Revan pretty fast on your team.
Yeah, I think that's... and then that team is You can use it on defense in Territory Wars, or you can use it on offense. It is that good. It can go both ways, and you'll be just okey-kay. So that's one team for Territory Wars.
And I think she can run him without Jolie and his Zeta yet.
Yeah,
because if we
you can run Hermit Yoda. She has a good Hermit Yoda too.
I mean, if we filter out by her Jedis, she could easily run Ezra on the team. She could easily run Bastila on the team. She could run GK, and then she could either decide, do I want to run Hermit Yoda on that team, or do I want to run, Ezra on that team, or do I want to maybe leave Bastila out? I know there's some people who think that Bastila doesn't belong on the team, and maybe until you got that second or that third Zeta, whichever one you decide to do for the second or third Zeta, you could make that argument. But you've already got Bastila modded, so I'd probably say Bastila stays.
Bastila, I think, is great on the team. I think that what people don't do is mod for potency. If you want her to stun, if you want her to land ability block, she needs to have a little bit of potency, and it's a lot of her passive work that she's doing kind of behind the scenes too.
I would agree.
That call to action and the immediate offense up that she gives Yoda, and he can pass that to everyone. Like that's good stuff.
Yeah, she's basically there for that, and then she's there because she's both Old Republic and Jedi, which means she makes Revan work a little better, and she makes some of those other Jedi work a little bit better.
Oh, I came in late, so I forgot. Hi, T-Money!
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, introductions are done. Let's go through the rest of this roster.
Can I make a suggestion with regards to the mods? And I don't know what you think about this, Finn, but she's got an offense set on Yoda and a critical damage set on Ezra. I might switch those. There's a offense set with critical damage triangle. I mean, it's a really nice set on Yoda. But I'm just curious about switching the two of those, just because Yoda goes so much, and he's almost guaranteed to critical hit with the bonuses that he gets under Revan. With Bastila, it's not as common. Like, it's not as he might
Ezra.
not crit, but with under Revan, he's going to crit like every time.
Yeah.
And it's not just under. So it's interesting. If it was just straight under Revan, I think my personal preference would have been just doing offense. And he gets some bonuses to critical chance with the 5% for each of the Jedi and Old Republic, right? So he can get a good amount of critical chance, but special damage is still semi-low. It's not awful, but you can get a really high crit Yoda, but I like the consistency of offense. What changes it for me to actually make me go into what you're saying, which is actually the increase, like to go with critical damage on Yoda, is actually the fact that he's running Bastila on the team. Because when you run Bastila 2, then you get the crit chance buff from her that he can then distribute, right? So it's not just the leader. I think if it was a leader alone, it's really, really close now with the way that they changed the stats. But with Bastila on the team too, she can put Rally on Grandmaster Yoda, who can then distribute it. I would actually say you could probably go with crit damage on both of them if you have the sets in order to justify it. Just because of the overall
Predator
team comp
takes
between
you to the
Bastila
edge.
and
Working in
Revan,
Delta
then
for 30
boosting
years.
Grandmaster Yoda and Ezra.
Producing the fast metal molecules. You
So we're thinking she doesn't put Hermit Yoda on that. Put Ezra on it. I just want to make sure we got the full 5 character comp right.
Well, so the one I was
Someone
thinking
straight
was actually
with
without
Predator
necessarily a
Intel
team.
Core i7
So it was
processors.
actually
Help them
Revan,
grow.
Bastila,
Common
Grandmaster Yoda,
sense,
Ezra,
Georgia
and
values.
Hermit Yoda.
So no
Using the
GK then is what you're
Possibly for offense, because to what Grim is saying, if she doesn't have the direct focus Zeta yet, and yet being the key, right? Without the direct focus, she may lose a little bit because she's not reducing the cooldowns as much, right? She's not going to be able to. It's basically just losing a little bit without having that Zeta. And so you're not getting that extra stun. You're not getting the buff immunity, which means that the opposing Revan team is going to be able to get their buffs and stuff across. So I'm thinking maybe on offense, you have a little bit more offensive firepower because Revan's going to mark somebody anyways and just take him out. Like a tank really, it helps, but it's not super necessary on offense. On defense, it helps because you can hopefully distract somebody. And so I would say actually maybe switch out between Ezra and GK based on offense and defense. But
I've been doing that in my climbs.
You've been doing that same thing with
I've been switching. It just so aren't. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Like just like don't target that. Oh, you're gonna target the one that I'm thinking about. You just kind of have to like keep your mind blissfully clear so that he doesn't target who you don't want. But it can be challenging for sure. The thing with Hermit Yoda too is I've been playing with is that sometimes if you're going up against a Revan team, you don't want to have Hermit Yoda on there because Grandmaster Yoda will steal the stealth from him and ruin your plans that way. So, but then if he does, then you can steal it back from him and protect your Grandmaster Yoda. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So
for that, you would be saying to put Jolie in for Hermit Yoda, right? Not replace him with a tank and not have a heal. Like, so if your other 4 were Revan, Bastila, Ezra, and Grandmaster Yoda.
I mean, doesn't Bastila and
the
Revan both have a heal?
What?
Does Revan has a heal? Right? I mean, it's single point heal.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Grandmaster. It's not Hermit Yoda quality heal.
Totally agree. It's not Hermit quality, Hermit Yoda quality heal, but it's not like it's garbage. I mean, it's not like it's...
No. It's definitely... I'm not saying it's bad. So you could potentially just run Revan for your heal. That's why I'm just asking kind of what T-Money was thinking. Like, so if we do Revan, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, and Ezra, for your 5th, are you saying not to run Hermit Yoda and just put in like a GK? Or are you saying when she has Jolie, just consider putting Jolie in there permanently? Or what would you be thinking for the 5th? Or are you thinking of like a different Revan comp entirely? Did we lose T-Money?
Is she on mute?
She's not on mute. I think we lost.
May have gotten a phone call.
Yeah.
That happens.
She may have gotten a phone.
Well, that's enough about Revan. Let's go through the rest of this roster because they asked about Territory Wars team. So I'm just going to go down the list. Bounty Hunters, you have them. This is a great team. You have Boss Zeta.
Oh, wait. We're talking about Territory Wars, then we need to look at Mace Windu, General Grievous. We need to look at Cup.
So be careful about looking at Cup, right? Because the 2 that are set are Mace and Grievous. They said that those 2 were going to have the buffs. The other 2 they listed as mystery, which it's not clear whether or not we revealed the mystery by saying it's Cup and Dooku, or whether mystery means that it's a random one that's going to be assigned during the Territory War. So we have to wait until the next Territory War is open. I don't think it's open yet, but it probably will be by the time that we're done with our lunch stream here. And so we can see if they're showing the characters early or not that are those quote-unquote mystery characters. But Mace and Grievous are worth modding if you already have geared. I wouldn't go out of your way to gear them, though.
No, neither would I. Luckily, none of the 4 of these characters are tanks. They've made them all into kind of attackers. So you can just like get them to, if you got them at gear 8 or gear 7 or gear 9.
By the way, really quick, so T-Money is typing that she, for the 5th in that team, she was saying to use Kanan.
You use Kanan, that's a great one to add as well.
Mm-hmm. Kanan and Ezra do have a pretty nice synergy together, so yeah.
And
then you could rely on Revan's heal as his mass heal, so because he heals based on Old Republic and Jedi characters, so he could have a pretty decent mass heal as well. That could definitely work. So just some options, but I think either way, switch to Revan for Arena.
All right. We're going through Bounty Hunters first. Great team on defense with Boss Zeta, Boss Lee, which you have. You have the other 4 of the Bounty Hunters at 12, and you've got a couple of 11 that you can use. I can see you're working on some of the other ones with Aura. Django Embo is really disgusting on that team. They're all Bounty Hunters are just great with Boss Zeta has a Zeta on Boba Fett, so that is a great territory defensive team. Let's filter through the next team, which would be First Order.
I'm not sure First Order makes a defensive squad anymore.
It does. absolutely.
It depends
does.
on your GP level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but here's the deal: is before First Order had a bonus in TW.
I know.
Even
And
then,
now-
I don't think it was bonus that kept him in though.
You don't think it was the bonus protection that kept him in?
Well, but it's
I
still.
don't know if people paid attention. The First Order are a good survival team, anyways.
Right.
I don't disagree with you.
So I think they were just in because they're a difficult team to beat, and she's in 160 million guild, so she's in a guild similar to mine, and First Order is definitely viable on defense.
Yeah, the speed you want is on your First Order officer. He is the one that makes this team rock and roll, and you've got the other pieces. They're all gear 11, Zeta on Kylo Ren on Maz. Eventually, you're going to need the Zeta on, not now, but eventually if you're going to use this team, this most effective is when you have Kylo Ren's unique done and First Order Stormtrooper Zeta. You've got Executioner 11, Officer 11, Kylo Ren 11. I mean, everyone's 11 except First Order Special Forces, but that's fine. But this is a great team on Territory Wars defense. Again, like the Bounty Hunters, what makes it viable is that they regen health and protection back. They do a lot of assisting. It works very, very well.
I hope you talk again, because I'm going to say something, and I think she may or may not scream, because I think she would agree with me, but I know she loves this. Can you talk, T-Money? I saw you unmuted. Can we hear you?
Yeah.
There she is. Yay!
Yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you, T. Okay. So, the one thing I was going to say is I do not like her modding for Kylo Ren Unmasked. The primaries are all protection. I would load up on health. Just super health. Just all the way. Just crazy amounts of health, Kylo. T, what do you think about a super health Kylo? Kylo Ren Unmasked.
You know I love it.
I know. I do too.
You know I love it.
I'll show you.
I just
and I have to say, while we're on it, I would not 6E any more protection primary mods. You want to go health, because the protection primary, you are getting the boost for the secondaries and stuff, but they're just so rare right now. I would do health, and I would do offense for 6E.
Okay.
That goes for the square and the triangle and the cross, which you have a whole bunch of nice ones, Maz. Like, they're beautiful. But the protection ones, I don't know. I did a couple by mistake. But they only give you that little tiny percent versus
half a percent. It's so bad. I mean, it's
yeah.
It's really bad. The other one, she's not
for the secondaries were really nice on them too, so maybe that was why. But yeah.
There's another one too. She doesn't have any one that I would really say is super at this point, but I also like 6Eing crit avoidance arrows. Just so much crit avoidance for like your Treya team, just so much crit avoidance. It's cool. Happy thoughts right there. So that's a potential 6E as well, but you don't have any that I see that I would say you want to take up to 6E. You don't have a whole host of crit avoidance arrows, but just something to keep an eye out for if you're farming mods or something like that. Crit avoidance arrows I love them. I think I know speed is necessary for a lot of characters, but I love crit avoidance arrows as kind of the non-speed arrow of choice. All right. Something to consider there too.
Next team we're looking at for Territory Wars is the Imperial Troopers. If GG will pull them up. Awesome job. Her team has got all 5 in there. One team you may want to work on gear, Magma Trooper. Great trade killer with Thrawn. But you've got Veers, Death, Stark, Snow Trooper, and Shore Trooper, all gear 12 with the Zeta on Veers. This is a very potent offensive team. Facing teams like Rogue One, Night Sisters, Eats It Alive. Really solid team. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. Looking solid there. Let's see. Next team is Jedi. We've already looked at in length at Jedi, so we'll go to Night Sisters. If GG will cooperate with me. Again, another great team. Looks solid. Saj and Mother Talzin have the Zetas. Let's see. Daka, Talia 12, Zombies 11, Acolytes 11. This team can be used. I've seen it used on defense, and I've seen it used on offense. And it just depends on the team you're facing. A lot of offensive teams will go Mother Talzin lead with her to spread the plague. Really effective against a lot of like Basila or Revan led teams. So it has its uses, and on defense, I've seen a lot of people use Night Sisters. They'll take out like Talia and put in like a Nest or something on defense. So it depends on what your guild's doing. That Nest combination is really nasty because Nest goes, and if she removes tier meter and stuff, and the Night Sisters start rock and rolling, you're in trouble, as they will just destroy you. The new zombie rework is gives it a lot of survivability. That's why you see a lot of people on defense, because it reses constantly. People that go down until the zombie loses its abilities to do that. So another great
Her
territory.
zombie seems really, really slow though.
Well,
It
yeah.
has a total of plus 19 speed. I
Well.
don't like the modding on Night Sister Zombie.
Got to get some speed on that zombie.
Yeah, you need zombie to be fast and tanky, like nobody's business. The faster she is when she comes back, she's getting like crazy amounts of speed, and then tanky obviously, so you can survive. So lots of health. So I like the health sets. I don't think the modding otherwise, because you're running some mods that have no speed. Some, and it depends how high you prioritize Night Sisters. Like maybe Night Sisters aren't a huge priority, and so Zombie had some mods that were just kind of thrown on her. But I would definitely increase the speed on your zombie.
There you go. Let's see here. So next one we're looking at is just her rebels overall. Great job with your rebels. You have a lot of interacting pieces here. Your Chewbacca 7-star gear 10, get him to 12. I love Chewbacca. Chewbacca with CLS and now the team that I'll use on offense is CLS, OG Han, Chewbacca, Chirrut, and Baze. I don't like Rogue One as a team in really any circumstances. Usually I split those up into other pieces. Same thing with like my Phoenix. I'll use Chopper on my JTR team sometimes and stuff like that. But the team itself of CLS, Han, and Chewie is really just, it's nasty. And I'll put in Chirrut and Baze. Have fun. That team is just nasty. It can do so much. It hits so hard. It kills Trey like it's going out of style. And the other traditional team is people run CLS, R2, Chewbacca, Open, CLS, R2, OG, yeah.
OG Han.
OG Han. And so that's the team you see. I kind of like to keep R2 with the JTR team. I don't know how you guys feel about that. So that's the reason why I like Chirrut and Baze with that combination. I like to keep R2 with JTR. I think it's just a better combination for that team in general. But yeah, that team is really good. You've got some other pieces that you can kind of use. Cassian is really good under a Zeta Finn Poe team because he helps expose. He can do all kinds of debuffs. He can hit really hard with his special and put even more debuffs on targets. It makes the Zeta Finn team pop, in my opinion. But you got a lot of really good pieces here for your rebels. So good job on that. Next one is we did Rebels, Resistance, JTR. So many different combinations of JTR out there. Looking at yours, they look pretty damn good. You got Zeta Finn, Post 12, Resistance Troopers 12. You have a 7-star Holdo who's gear 8. I really like Holdo on the JTR team. I like running JTR, BB-8, R2-D2, and Holdo with like a Scav Ray. It works really, really, really well. Ray, Scavenger Ray, and I mean, for me, that's the combination I like to use, either on defense or offense. I think Holdo's a really solid tank and piece for that team. Anybody, and then of course you got Zeta Finn with Poe, Resistance Trooper. You can throw in a Rose or a Resistance Pilot. I like to put Cassian on that team. It's really about Poe's speed. If you are going to use this team on offense, I always tell everybody, you've got to check. So let's say you're going after First Order. Make sure you add 30 to the First Order score. So if you see Kylo Ren has 220 speed, remember you got to add 30 to that because of his leader, they get speed. So you have to make sure you check that, and always check their First Order officer, because you can be faster than the entire team, but first order officer goes first, and you're rolling the dice because if it depends on who he gives turn meter to on his first turn, which is random. Then it could really destroy your team. But if you're posed fast, and usually it's 260 speed plus that you want on Poe, so he can go off. You want potency on him, and basically if he can hit his exposes, you're going to win. We've had a video of that team actually beating a Traya team that we did one Wednesday night where someone took just took Finn.
I think it was Grandmaster Broda, if I remember correctly.
Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper killed a 5-team Traya team. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And that was a fully geared Zeta Traya team. So that gives you an idea of how good that team is. So those are
I don't disagree with your points. The only thing I would say is I like saving Haldo for the Finn team. Because if you're not using BB-8, you are not. I mean, if you're not using a R2, you don't have another character that AOEs in order to hit maybe potential exposes on other characters to feed turn meter to Finn.
Yeah, that's why.
The Finn team that I like is Finn, Poe, Resistance Trooper, Haldo, and Rose. And then for Rey, it's Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2, Scavenger Rey, and then Old Ben is the other one that I use in that team.
People use Chopper, as I mentioned.
You can use Chopper. You can use you could use L3 and T3 if you wanted to as well. You could use, and I've kind of played around with this one, and it's really fun. And it's actually Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2, Wampa, and Old Ben. That's just a really just fun team to kind of play around with, because you get counterattack sometimes with AoE squads on BB-8 and Wampa, and then BB-8 will call Jedi Training Rey, and it's just all kinds of nasty damage. So, but yeah, so I like to save Haldo for Finn just so you have another kind of AoE on that team.
You could do that.
But you can definitely put Haldo on the Jedi Training Rey team as well. It just depends on how you want to distribute them out.
Yeah, I like Haldo on the team because you've got JTR, you've got Rey, you've got BB-8, and you got R2. I like it just for the fact that it gives me another AoE damage dealer on there as well. So with the same kind of philosophy. But the great thing is you can mix and match these pieces once you have them ready to go, and they work really, really well. Next team is your Sith. Let's look at this. Traya's 6-star gear 11. You got the other pieces in place. So the Triumvirate kind of stays together, and you can run it with like a Sith Trooper, which you have gear 11. That's just fine. You don't see Traya on defense as much anymore, and mainly because it's got too many counters, and you'll see it a lot more on offense. It can beat a lot of teams.
In yours.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, because I know her guild is in a similar GP to mine, and in mine, Traya is still
okay. So it's still there, yeah. But as you get higher and higher, and you see more people, because it's got too many counters. The CLS Chewie team can kill it. The Basla team can kill it. The Magma Trooper Thrawn team can beat it. So you see this team being used higher up GPs on a lot more offense, not being left on defense. So it's still a great team on defense. You can interwoven a lot of the parts, but you typically see now Palpatine being used on the Thrawn Magma team. So you have Thrawn lead with Magma Trooper, Death Trooper, Emperor Palpatine, and IPD. And it is a Traya killer, and it works really, really well. Magma Trooper is the key to that. He's got to be gear 11 at least to make that work, because he just doesn't hit hard enough if you don't. You need the damage that he does on there, and because he's resisting, and doesn't matter which way it goes, but the buffs are hitting him or not hitting him, he's getting turn meter, and you're just constantly. You use the other guys for crowd control. You can use your IPD to, like, oh, hello there, and just boom, dead. So that's kind of how that team works. But you want to keep the Triumvirate together. Run your Sith Trooper in there. And then you can add another piece. It doesn't really matter who you want to throw in there as well, because it's really about the Triumvirate, Sith Trooper, and one more. But yeah, put Palpatine on your Magma Trooper team, and you'll be really, really solid. So that's a little bit of the Sith. And then is there anybody else? Nope, I think that's the main ones that we have. We've broken down pretty much all of them. Your bounty hunter. That gives you a good solid 7, 8, 9 teams that you can use on different areas, and that's kind of what you see now. Typically, most guilds, on average, you want 4 in defense and in a fleet, and then you typically want 8 teams that work really really well. 4 in defense, 4 in offense. Now, some people out there may not be able to do that, and your guild will adjust accordingly, right? You can only put a couple on defense because your tunes just don't have the gear and stuff to do that, and you save your better teams for offense. Um, Remember your teams on offense. Make sure that the team you come with, the concept works, and that before you attack, you really look at what's going on. Can I beat this team? Because a lot of times what happens is people go in thinking, well, I've got Treya, I can go kill this team. And they didn't look at the speed or anything else like that, and then they lose. And it's really bad because either two things in territory wars: make sure you look at the team you're facing before you go kill it, and the other thing too is if you're losing horribly, get the hell out of there. Do not leave turn meter on some of these teams, because if you leave turn meter on some of these teams, you make it damn near impossible for your guild, especially the lower you are in GP and stuff, to do anything, because now they've got to use a super awesome team and hope that they can get past some of the turn meter that you put on there. Like if you give first order Night Sisters turn meter on defense, you're just asking for pain, because they're just going to bring it. So you have to be careful about that. So those are kind of the tips for territory wars that you want to look at. Make sure your teams are well put together, they're geared, they work, they function, the synergy's there, and make sure that you've got the mods on them, the correct mods, and then you make sure that when you go into territory war battles, that you have that you can beat the team. Take a minute before you go in and attack. Look at the team. Look at their speed. If you're going to use like your resistance on first order, look at the speeds of your first order. The two you want to look at is first order officer and crew. Look at their speeds. If you add 30 to that and they're faster than your PO, do not fight that team. You're not going to win, probably. So you have to be really careful about that. So, looking at mods and other things, anything else stands up to you, Finn, or anybody else?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Great account.
We've gone through, and she knows where to find us. So if you have any other questions,
I gotta say, sickly impressive. I'm super jelly of your roster. It's a fantastic roster. There's tons of Gear 12, tons of characters that you've done right. I mean, this is a roster people could look at and go, yep, this is what you want to do. I mean, let's look at all these Gear 12s, and she's farmed all the characters that she's needed to, and she's still working on getting even better tunes better. I mean, yeah, this is a roster you want to kind of go after. This is done the right way. All right, and Maz, you know where to find us if you have questions, as Dr. Finn said. All right, speaking of questions, Dr. Finn, I'm sure we have some, don't we?
Indeedy, we do.
Oh, indeedy.
So I'm bringing him up right now.
Diddly.
Yeah. Diddly. Okay. So the first question, and I think we answered this one, is no more Mr. Nice Guy question. Can you go over the difference in mods with using offense versus crit damage for attackers such as Ezra, and why is better, or what is better and why?
Mm-hmm.
I think we went over that a little bit earlier when we were discussing Grandmaster Yoda and Ezra, and essentially it's just a matter of whether or not you're actually going to be critting enough in order to make use of crit damage. High crit damage with a low crit chance is going to be worthless. Offense is going to be more consistent damage, and so it's just a matter of knowing your squad and picking what's going to optimize your damage the most. So that's pretty much it. Ski Trooper question: is the consensus that the triumvirate Thrawn plus another is the best Revan counter if you don't have Revan? No. I'm going to say no. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think that's the consensus, because here's the problem, because I use that team with the +1 being Sith Trooper, and I've been able to beat Revan teams. Here is why I don't think it's the consensus. It is heavy on modding. It is not a pure counter based on ability alone. So it's not like that team is the direct counter to a Revan team. Like, just their kit and everything work well in order to counter it. They do have abilities like Isolate and Fracture that help. But the problem is Revan will target Treya with the mark. And if your Treya is not modded with really, really high protection, she will die from the initial onslaught. And if she dies from the initial onslaught, it's game over. Like there's no way you're surviving that. And I've tried. And so she survives that initial onslaught and everything is fine. Then I've seen others who's die and it's over with. And so there is a heavy mod dependency on using that team as a counter. The better one that seems to be able to work well without needing that many mods is the Zeta Maul lead with the Triumvirate and a super slow Nest. That one seems to be a better counter, but that one has RNG associated with it because you need to make sure that the other one's crit and all of that. So you're looking for what can help you best in order to beat Revan. And if you have the mods, then yeah, go Triumvirate with Sith Trooper and Thrawn. That would be the one I would tell you to go with. If you don't have a lot of like great mods, then you're probably get them all team. But I don't know, you guys disagree? What do you think of the whatever anti-Revan squad that's available?
I think you nailed it. You nailed it. I mean, there's nothing I need to add to that.
All right. Next question. Jedi Training Bogus question. Do you think the next quality of life will be full sims on challenges if they're going to add a new game feature to reduce time?
Oh, boy.
I've been asking for this for a while. So I'm going to mention this really quick just because I know sometimes people forget. But for those of you that don't remember, the cooldown on challenges used to be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's 2 minutes now, and I know we all want it to be done even quicker, right? Like you just want to do all sim of 5 and just be done with it, or 3 of the other ones. It's like I just want to do them all and get it done, and I understand that, but just keep in mind that challenges used to have a 10-minute timer, and they brought it down to 2. So it would be nice if they did the full sim. What I would actually want more, and I don't know what you guys think as well. What I would rather prefer is that there is a red number that tells you when you still have challenges left. Because I swear, there are some days that I think I completely forget, and I think I only did one of the challenges like 4 times instead of 5 times, and there's no way for me to know besides going into the screen, and sometimes I forget. I really wish that they had the little red number that tells you how many attempts at the challenges you have left. So I think that, for me, would be a better quality of life change than just making it so you can sim all of them at once, mainly because I don't think that's something they're going to do. But I think adding the little red number may be something they'd be able to do. So from a realistic quality of life standpoint, I'm hoping they add that little red number. So
there you go.
Something like that. And by the way, Ranger, I don't know. I know you're sneezing and stuff. I think you're sneezing on the Skype, but not muting on the.
No, I tried to catch it in time and I missed it.
Yeah, I know.
I felt it coming in before I could hit the mute button. I was like, "Oh, it's too late."
But are you just muting on Skype, or are you muting the stream?
No, I'm muting.
I think you're muting it for us, but I think people on the stream are.
No. My mic mutes everything, so
okay.
I completely missed it. So if you heard it, everybody heard it. So
okay. Yeah, Ski Trooper, that is correct. Ranger is allergic to Finn. It's true. Hashtag I blame Finn.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time Ranger sneezes, a Jedi becomes a master.
No.
So Revan's become a master like 80 times now? Okay. Chewy question. Were you underwhelmed by the update last night?
I was underwhelmed.
It's the beginning of the month. Their big stuff usually comes out at the end of the month, so I'm not underwhelmed at all by it. I would expect in another 2 weeks when they kind of put out their next content. Usually their content updates are about every 2 weeks or so. I would expect in 2 weeks there to be kind of a big update because we'll be in the middle of November. And again, I think there is a Separatist and a Grievous rework coming. Possibly just a faction pass on all of the Separatists because we haven't had a faction pass in a while, like Loki had mentioned before. Grievous rework, potentially a new territory war or territory battle map with Geonosis, possibly a new character to get from guild event tokens. Because I mentioned this yesterday too. They really didn't need to apologize for putting Revan into platoons. It's not something unusual, but they gave us the 100 crystals and the 500 guild event tokens. They may also be doing that as a little bit of a hint, telling you get ready for something new to come into guild event store. So I would just be aware that there may be a new character hopping into the guild event store now, because a lot of people have worked on Hermit Yoda and Wampa already, and they're just focusing on gear and stuff, which you guys can continue, but just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't need to apologize for Revan because we totally called it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone in the
Revan was gonna be
knew
in
it
there.
was happening. It wasn't a surprise. They've done it before with Rey, and it's not like changing it in this territory battle is going to make it so it can't show up in the next territory battle. And no one's getting Revan between now and 3 months from now. Like, either you have it or you don't. Like, there was really no reason to apologize for it. So,
and as far as underwhelmed, I actually was surprised with the patch. You know, they gave us something they kept on telling us they were not going to put in the game. You know, they gave the clones their helmets. You know,
it
was pleasant.
Did you see that? Did you see Rex got his Wolfpack helmet?
Mm-hmm.
He's got like his homage to Wolfpack helmet. I'm so excited about that. Like, people will finally know Wolfpack isn't like about a random animal, although we pretend it is.
I really wish Rex didn't have a helmet. I was saying this yesterday. He was the only clone that was really distinguishable, and I'm gonna miss having his bald head on my screen.
Me too. I'm gonna miss having Rex's bald head.
As far as the people saying why didn't they do Clone Sergeant is Phase 1 clone armor, whereas the clones that they reworked is the Phase 2 clone armor. There's a difference.
There you go.
Right, Ranger?
That is correct.
They should just given Rex a Revan mask. Okay, next question is from John Davies. Question for Mike. I support LFC, who are doing their best for ages. Who do you support, and happy birthday, man? So Mike is unfortunately not here. But yeah, Liverpool is kind of killing it right now. So I agree. For what it's worth.
Manchester United.
Oi.
You're just asking for anger. Why would you say that? Somebody who doesn't watch sports or anything, you're really good at agitating. Okay, next question is from Andrew Gross. Question: I just finished Wampa and Hermit Yoda. What should I do with my guild event currency? Ooh, good timing on the question. Should I buy gear? If yes, which pieces are worth it? Or buy shards for Krennic and Imperial Commando Gar Saxon?
I wouldn't spend guild event currency on those guys.
Nope.
You can just farm them in nodes.
Gear.
I don't mind gear. I would focus on the pieces that are semi-rare to come across.
Mm-hmm.
So those would include, for example, the Mark V stun guns. I think those are good. Once you finish those characters, it's not a bad purchase to get the Mark V stun guns, because you can't really get them otherwise except for farming and maybe the occasional time that they pop up in the shard shop currency. Any of the Guild 12 pieces that you don't have like 1,000 of. So you have those.
The dark golden eyeballs.
Yeah. The dark gold
those
eyeballs.
Are a pain in the backside to get.
Yeah. The
because they don't drop on the nodes.
The other ones are potentially like the Rancor reward droid collars. Those ones are
the Mark 5s and Mark 6s.
Yeah, the Mark 6s you can get from the guild store as well. So I'll keep an eye out for those if you need them. But the Mark 5s you can get from the guild store. But for me, and I don't know about you guys, the droid collars, they don't show up nearly as much as the other stuff. Like, I can get so many scanners and discs and even furnaces, but the droid collars, they don't show up nearly as much as the others.
I've actually caught myself spending crystals on getting them because I don't want to wait.
Yeah, like it's hard.
It's like, what was it, 400 for 25 of them or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I gotta say, I'm running the clone troopers right now. They look pretty badass.
Yes, they do.
Rex needs to be bald.
They look amazing.
Echo, man. Echo looks so cool.
Okay. The other thing also is they may be introducing a new character. So if you want to save guild event currency for the month just to see what they do, because it does seem to be going along that route, that's something you could do as well.
It'll be really
next
cool.
One is Ski Trooper question: does First Order lose their territory war buffs with the Clone War buffs coming in? Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Or do they?
Yeah, they do. All the buffs are being replaced.
Oh, well, that's
with
disappointing.
These temporarily. Now it'll come back, but the buffs are just going to be for the Galactic Republic stuff. So, just for the time being, yes. Yeah, if you go into the details and stuff, you no longer see the bonuses for First Order and all the other factions. All right. Next question, Hellenix. I have all my First Order tunes at Gear 11 except for Crew, OG Kylo, and First Order Stormtrooper. How bad am I at planning ahead? Do I deserve a flogging? Would the First Order Grandmaster Ranger be disappointed?
Yes.
There you go.
Commence the flogging.
Or not worthy for the First Order.
You have disappointed First Order Master Ranger. All right. Let's see. Next question, Chewie. Why does Ranger seem so beat down this morning and afternoons? Because I joined the stream. That's pretty easy. Hashtag I blame Finn.
Yeah, working out and stuff. I'm just a little tired, that's all.
Hashtag I blame Finn. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I
could take my clone troopers to like Gear 11 plus right now. I wonder if I should just do it.
No,
I've been tempted to. I'm very, very tempted to.
Just because they changed their looks, their kit is still meh.
I know. I'm just looking at it like, I could do this.
Chewie question: does Zombie get new revives for her Night Sister allies across territory battles? I believe so. Yeah, I believe her unique. I haven't been able to test it because Night Sisters don't appear fairly often, so I don't know if you guys are seeing this too. But I think her unique ability gets reset with each attempt, where she reses like the first two that die. I don't think it carries. Like, if you revive twice in the first battle, that it doesn't revive against the second time. I'm pretty sure it resets, but I can't 100% confirm that because I haven't really tested that with the Night Sisters. Like, I've faced a couple, but I haven't had the opportunity to test the resing aspect. So, my guess would be yes, that it restarts at the start of each battle, because that's usually what happens. Harbinger, Ranger, question for you. Can you do Ben Stein or Gollum?
Ben Stein.
Never really tried Ben Stein, but Gollum, yes. What's precious? Precious. What's daughter's precious? There you go.
Ben Stein actually is pretty easy. You just go monotone.
Yeah. Dry eyes or wet eyes. It's like, God.
Okay. Next question is no more Mr. Nice Guy question. With Grandmaster K, I'm not sure what they're referring to. With Grandmaster logging, are they testing the Territory War update, and do you think they will rotate?
Oh, it's not Grandmaster. It's General Kenobi.
Oh, okay. Oh, as the login character. Okay, I gotcha. Yes. I think they're testing something funky.
Well, who knows? Okay. We might see some more clones. I mean, they were kind enough to give us the helmets for the clones we have. Delta Squad, maybe? Scorch in them?
All right. Next question, Chewie. Question at Finn. What is your guild GP and how many stars do you get in territory battles? Trying to gauge for my guild. Yes, I responded to him in the chat too, but we're 167 million. Okay, I'm going to admit I'm really bad at this. So during territory battles, I help organize and figure out the deployment and stuff. So I try to optimize our stars for each territory battle, but honestly, I can't tell you what we got in the territory battle that we just finished last week. I do not pay attention. I think
we're 195 right now.
We're 167, and I believe we are 43 on light side and 45 on dark side, and almost at 46. I think we'll get 46 this time. But I can't be 100% because I honestly do not keep track of it. I'm very much short-sighted when it comes to like trying to optimize our scores and stuff. So I do not keep track of that. It's not something that I usually pay attention to. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we get 45. We just got 45 light side. We'll go for 48 dark side. So, it's kind of. I was in MC2. I've already got the achievement for 48, but now I'm in MC3. I think we've been getting like 47 on the dark side, but now we're going for 48. Should get it this time.
All right. Next one from Phimok. Question: is it better to have critical chance and critical damage on Grandmaster Yoda, or offense and critical chance? I don't think you need critical chance at all. You can, but it's more important to get the secondary stats more than the critical chance, because you'll get critical chance depending on your group makeup from Revan and Bastila. So it's a matter of whether or not you're going offense or whether or not you're going critical damage. And critical damage is fine if you're running Revan and Bastila. It works if you're just running Revan as well. My personal preference would be to run offense under just Revan and no Bastila, because you're not getting the additional crit chance boost. But that's that. Either way, run a crit damage triangle. Crit damage triangle is better than the offense triangle. Nick Merck, question: what do you think of Anakin's ship?
I think it's solid.
Yeah, nice kit, little squishy. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, solid ship.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of its capabilities. I think in the Galactic Republic fleet, it's going to be disgusting. They needed some offensive oomph on that team, and I think that ship gives it to them.
Well, and I think it also is going to add a little bit more to the Galactic Republic timeout teams for TW.
Yes, that it will.
Because being able to keep Valor up on everybody like that, you're going to be popping Mace's protection all the time.
All right. So let's see. Next one is Andrew Sweeney. Question: do you think we'll get another free Zeta this month for the 3-year anniversary? No. So my guess, and who knows what they'll actually do, Zeta is fairly easy, so it's possible. But my guess is they usually try to give you something that's related to the newest thing that they put out into the game. And it's possible that they put out a Zeta, but now Zetas are kind of out there a little bit more. My guess is that they will give you mats in order to take a mod from gray to 6E. They'll just give you all the mats in order to take a mod directly from 5A or 5E to 6E, and you can do with it what you want. They may even give like 2 sets of it, so you guys can do that. But that's my guess on what they're going to give. I think it's going to be mod mats.
I don't see that happening.
So we'll see. I think it's mod mats. Harbinger question: what about going full defense sets and primaries with secondary speeds on Zombie or Kenobi? Depends on your team.
Yeah.
Zombie, I would definitely go speed sets. Zombie needs to be fast. With Kenobi, you can go slow Kenobi or fast Kenobi depending on your team. So that's fine. Hellenix question: how traumatized are we that just the sight of 100 crystals and 500 guild event tokens in our inboxes is enough to make us speculate on, oh my god, what are they planning? So I can't speak for everyone, but for me, that's not the reason why I'm thinking that. I don't think they had anything to apologize for to begin with. And then this comes out of a whole, 2 weeks of, utter silence, right? After the Revan release, they went, dark. There was nothing. And then they come out with I'm sorry for something they didn't have to be sorry about. So it's just kind of suspicious there. The, oh my god, what are they planning moment for me was when we now have a Phasma and First Order Executioner
I don't
pack.
understand that one at all.
I don't either.
I cannot. I just can't.
T-Money, are you able to speculate, or if you're still here, why is there a Phasma and First Order Executioner pack that is being sold right now?
I
Hugs.
saw that too. I have no idea. It could just be a mistake. I mean, have we figured out even if these, surprises that were mentioned are the surprises that are written in the game? Was that what it was? We're supposed to go hunting in the place where we're supposed to be looking for those things? And
well, they said you're talking about like the
surprise?
territory war bonus stuff, like the mysteries.
Yeah.
They said those would be one Separatist and one Galactic Republic character each time would be a mystery.
Oh, so they will change.
So that's what we're not clear about. We're not sure if, one, we decoded the mystery by going into the previous territory war and seeing in the details, or whether the mystery means that it's going to be a random rotation. It's still...
It's like a mystery for a 2-year-old.
Exactly.
It's like hiding the Easter egg on the edge of the kitchen sink.
Exactly. So defining a mystery is still a question mark, but this Phasma First Order Executioner pack is very confusing.
I'm like, is the BB-8 event on right now, or the Ray event on right now? Like, maybe it's just kind of like shown up.
It is not.
Yeah, it was just up like a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And they usually put like the full First Order. It's not just Executioner and Phasma. Like, there's something, and Phasma has a ship, but Executioner doesn't. So it's not like they're trying to promote a ship or something. Like, it's bizarre. Like, this pack just came out of nowhere. It's like, why is this pack here?
I feel like there's all these hints in game right now that are leading us to something, but I'm just not super interested in finding it out. I don't know why. I'm just like, sure. Like, you don't try and make me panic farm Cup, okay? Like, no. You can have that. Thank you very much. Like, 1,000% damage for 4 territory wars. I don't know. I think people should be very careful and calm right now as to where they're putting their resources, because what I think is happening is that we're being drained of all our gear and our credits and our everything again, and then we're going to have something that we really need to. And do not quote me on this. This is how I am treating this personally. I have not told my guild this, so that means I am not recommending it to anyone. But I feel like they're draining us of all our gear, they're going to put something like the Chewy Legendary, and then we're like, oh my god, we have to do this. So we have to like truly panic instead of, that's what I think is happening.
Yeah.
It's the Illuminati, I tell you.
Something is afoot.
Something is definitely afoot.
And I am an arm. Okay. Question. We are. Why are there First Order packs in the store? Is BB-8 up right now? Okay, so we just discussed that, actually. Okay, and then what else? 73 question. Does CG know there are nodes besides 16 and 20 energy types? Yeah, but how will they make money on the cheaper ones? They have to make money on the cheaper ones. They can't make that much money. It's too fast. Yeah, I still think they need to undo what they did and bring back the ability to put characters in Galactic War Store and Squad Arena and Cantina Notes and Cantina Battle Store. Like, they need to...
Yeah, they kind of shot themselves in the foot when they decided not to do that.
Yep. I think they need to change that. So, oh well. Such is the way. And then, let's see, I think we have 2 more questions. Let's see. Yep, 2 more questions. First, Chewy question: clones needed for a new legendary? Maybe. I don't think clones are going to be needed personally, but it's possible. And Chewy question: do you think they'll do this territory war stuff every month? No, I think this is just because of the clone stuff. I think it would be annoying for people to have this constantly. Like, it's a nice novelty for 1 month. I don't think they need to do this every month. I think if it'll wear on people if they do this every month. Like, we're trying to find ways in order to promote characters that aren't useful is fine, but to do this like every single month, and next month is going to be Empire, and now you're going to need to work on Mob Enforcer. Like, at some point it's going to go overboard. And so I think this month is fine. There's a reason for it with the Clone Wars and all that kind of stuff, but I think they need to not make this a habit. Just let it be. We don't need a scoundrel one where you now have to work on Mob Enforcer. Like, that doesn't need to be something that happens.
That's right.
All right, that's it for questions.
All right. So if you're watching this, that means you're watching the RSG Lunch Stream. We do this every Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. You're welcome to join us. If you'd like a roster review, all you need to do is send your GG page to Dr. Finn Medicine Woman and Discord and make sure he responds, and we will add you to the queue. And that's kind of how that works. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It really does help us with monetization and helping get our word out there on the YouTube about our channel. We have our Patreon set up, and then we also have the ACS information. We got some stuff to announce about that, Dr. Finn, yes?
Soon, TM.
Okay, soon TM, never mind. So stay tuned for that. We are raising money for the American Cancer Society. We will be doing the half marathon run in April of next year. So to help raise the money for the fight against cancer, and we're really excited to be participating in that. And if you'd like to know more, we have links down below. We have our page set up where you can help donate for the cause. So it's a really, really wonderful organization, and we're very, very, very proud to be a part of it. All right, so with that, I think we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the crew, the lovely T-Money and everybody else, thank you guys for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And T-Money will be joining us on Saturday for the Jedi Academy, I'm hoping, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Our T-Money need to be here on Wednesday,
That's
so we
right.
can do
Pirate Wednesday. But it was Hollow's Weave, and she couldn't be here. She was dressed as a Jedi princess. The captain had lost her damn mind.
Aye.
It's all that maple syrup. I still swear that's the best costume ever. God, it's making me giggle again. Oh, T-Money, you make life better. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by, and we will holler at you later. Peace.
You know, with your love for maple syrup, can we call you Princess Jedi Mama?